Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Hollywood has always loved a good generational pairing, the seasoned star opposite the breakout newcomer, the veteran who lends gravitas and the rising talent who brings fresh energy. Leonardo DiCaprio, one of cinema's most enduring leading men, has found himself in that exact setup once again. But this time, the headlines aren't just about his performance, they're about a controversial, eyebrow-raising question directed at his young co-star, Chase Infiniti. The question: whether she ever called Leonardo DiCaprio "Daddy" while filming. The internet immediately lit up with reactions, labeling the exchange creepy and uncomfortable. And Chase Infiniti's own reaction, caught on video during the press junket, only added fuel to the fire. Her subtle but telling response has left fans, critics, and media outlets debating how young actresses should be treated during promotional tours, and whether this incident reflects a bigger problem with Hollywood's media culture. The film that started it all. The movie in question is an upcoming psychological thriller in which Leonardo DiCaprio plays a complex father figure, torn between protecting his daughter and battling demons from his past. Chase Infiniti, just 19 years old and relatively new to the big screen, plays his teenage daughter in what many are calling her breakout role. Industry insiders have already praised Infiniti for her raw, emotionally gripping performance. Critics who've seen early screenings are calling her a revelation, and one of the most promising young stars to hit Hollywood in years. For DiCaprio, whose career spans from Titanic to The Revenant, the film marks another turn toward darker, layered storytelling, the kind of role he's become famous for choosing. But instead of the film itself, much of the conversation has shifted to one moment during the promotional cycle that nobody expected. The interview gone wrong. At a recent press junket, where cast members sat for back-to-back interviews with entertainment reporters, Chase Infiniti and Leonardo DiCaprio were fielding questions together. After the usual discussion about the script, on-set chemistry, and what it was like for Chase to work alongside such a Hollywood legend, one reporter suddenly blurted out a question that stunned everyone. "So Chase, did you ever, slip up and call Leo, Daddy, while you were filming?" The room fell silent for a beat. Chase Infiniti blinked, visibly caught off guard. DiCaprio's expression stiffened. And then Chase let out a short, awkward laugh, the kind of laugh that says this is not okay, but I don't know how else to respond. Her reply was brief and telling. No, that's not really something I would do. She glanced at DiCaprio, who offered a small, supportive nod, before the moderator quickly steered the conversation back to the film itself. But the damage was done. Within hours, clips of the exchange had gone viral on TikTok, Twitter, now X, and Instagram, with viewers overwhelmingly slamming the reporter for what they considered an inappropriate and gross question. Why the "daddy" question struck a nerve. On the surface, the question might have been a misguided attempt at humor. After all, DiCaprio plays Infiniti's father in the movie, and pop culture has long associated the word "daddy" with both paternal affection and, in certain corners of the internet, a far more adult, sexualized connotation. But therein lies the problem. Chase Infiniti is a teenager just starting her career. Asking her to comment on a word so heavily tied to sexual innuendo immediately crossed a line for many fans. The framing of the question, critics argued, placed Infiniti in a deeply uncomfortable position where no answer would feel right. If she joked about it, the internet would have pounced. If she shut it down, as she did, the awkwardness lingered anyway. It also touched a nerve because Leonardo DiCaprio's dating history has been under constant public scrutiny for years. Memes and articles about his preference for dating women under 25 circulate endlessly online. Pairing that history with a young actress barely out of high school and then asking about "daddy" dynamics was, in many viewers' eyes, reckless and unnecessary. Chase Infiniti's body language says it all. Body language experts who weighed in on the clip pointed out several key moments that spoke volumes about how Infiniti felt in the moment. Her pause before answering, that brief silence suggested she was caught off guard and calculating the safest way to respond. The nervous laugh, a classic defense mechanism when someone feels cornered or uncomfortable but doesn't want to escalate tension. The glance toward DiCaprio, almost as if seeking backup or reassurance that she wasn't alone in finding the question inappropriate. DiCaprio's subtle nod back to her seemed to confirm this interpretation, a quiet but powerful show of solidarity. The internet reacts. Fans were quick to defend Chase Infiniti across social media. On TikTok, one user wrote, "She's 19. She's promoting her first big movie. And this is the kind of question she gets. Do better." Another on X chimed in, That's not just awkward. That's creepy. Hollywood press culture needs a reset. A third, the way Leo looked at her after that question, protective big brother vibes. Respect to him for not laughing along. Meanwhile, others pointed out that the reporter's question highlighted the ongoing problem of young women in Hollywood being forced to navigate invasive or uncomfortable comments during what should be celebratory press moments. Industry figures weigh in. Several entertainment journalists and publicists also weighed in after the clip went viral, with many acknowledging the importance of boundaries during interviews. Entertainment reporter Emily R. tweeted, "There's a fine line between playful and problematic. That question was not only tone-deaf, it was harmful. Chase handled it with grace, but she shouldn't have had to." One Hollywood publicist, speaking anonymously to a trade outlet, noted, "This is exactly why reps are increasingly protective of young talent. These junkets can be brutal. One bad question can overshadow months of hard work. A pattern in Hollywood. Unfortunately, this isn't the first time a young female star has faced an uncomfortable line of questioning. Millie Bobby Brown, during her Stranger Things rise, endured invasive questions about her appearance and maturity at just 13. Haley Steinfeld once recalled being asked about her love life when she was barely 15. Even Jennifer Lawrence, after breaking through with The Hunger Games, dealt with inappropriate comments during early red carpet interviews. Chase Infiniti's situation adds to this growing list, a reminder that, despite progress, Hollywood still struggles to protect young stars from inappropriate media moments. What's next for Chase Infiniti? Ironically, while the viral moment was uncomfortable, it has also amplified Chase Infiniti's visibility. Many who hadn't yet heard of her now know her name, and, importantly, see her as a poised, self-assured young actress who handled a difficult situation with dignity. Her breakout performance alongside DiCaprio is expected to catapult her into bigger projects. Insiders are already whispering about potential awards buzz, and several directors are reportedly eyeing her for future roles. For DiCaprio, who has built a reputation for mentoring younger talent both on and off screen, this film may end up being remembered not just for his performance but for his defense of his co-star in an awkward moment. The bigger conversation. The Chase Infiniti Leonardo DiCaprio, daddy question, moment has sparked a bigger conversation about responsibility in entertainment journalism. Where should the line be drawn? What protections should be in place for young actors? And how can the industry prevent these viral, gotcha, moments from overshadowing the actual art? Fans are hopeful that this incident will push networks and outlets to rethink how they train interviewers, especially when young women are involved. Because for Chase Infiniti, what should have been a career-defining press tour turned into yet another lesson about the pitfalls of fame. And her reaction, quiet but powerful, might just be the wake-up call Hollywood needed.